Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Inshallah, today we'll continue with town planning. Now, the various forms of planning. To maintain a continuity in the planning process, there are five main types of planning, namely local planning, country planning, regional planning, national planning, and international planning. Now, local planning. Local planning is the type of planning in which the development plan of a city or a town is prepared by keeping in view the local conditions. It aims at proper distribution of population densities, regulation of traffic, location of shopping as well as recreational centers, and there is suitable provision of green belt, and there is suitable division of the various areas in the various zones. It's quite evident that local planning will be greatly influenced by the economical as well as the financial as well as the finances available for the development of town. Now, country planning. Country planning is basically the planning of the countryside. Countryside means the land that is away from big cities and towns. It is generally seen that the area surrounding a big city or a town cannot be allowed to develop in a haphazard way. Generally, a town is surrounded by villages, and rural planning becomes necessary for the proper functioning of the town. For this purpose, the surrounding village should be linked with suitable facilities, and wherever possible, there should encouragement should be given for the growth of various small industries like dairy industry, poultry farming, basket and rope making industry. Now, regional planning. The term regional planning is used to include proposals in a region for the distribution of population, industry, transport facilities, rural services, as well as village industries. A town or a city cannot be isolated from its surrounding region. Hence, the regional planning helps in controlling and reshaping the growth of the major towns in the region. In general, a region may be defined as an area within which interaction is more intense than the interaction with its surrounding area. Modern regional planning includes planning of agricultural regions, industrial areas, large hydroelectrical power stations, as well as resort and recreational areas. Regional planning deals with efficient placement of land use activities, infrastructure, and settlement growth across a larger areas of land than any individual city or a town. Regional planning is a subfield of urban planning as it relates to land use practices on a broader scale. Regional planning is the science of efficient placement of infrastructure and zoning for sustainable growth of a region. Regional planning requires various land uses such as protection of farmland, cities, industrial sites, transport hubs, infrastructure, military bases, as well as wilderness. Now, necessity of regional planning. Regional planning avoids wasteful duplication of facilities. It ensures the most profitable utilization of resources at minimum expense for the maximum benefit of both individuals as well as the communities in the region. It gives us information regarding the economic functions which are to be performed by the surrounding regions. It grants mutual control over the areas in the region. It gives the local planners knowledge of relationship between the areas of the region. It grants planned and harmonious development of the national economy, especially in case of developing countries. It reveals new town planning and building principles and makes it possible to a certain extent to reject the static character of new towns and develop and adapt a more flexible as well as dynamic structure. It serves as a link of cooperation and coordination between the areas of the region. The main argument against regional planning is that the regional planner may not have the requisite knowledge of the local needs and requirements, and in that case, he would concentrate only at the regional requirements. It is possible to remove this defect of regional planning by furnishing the regional planner with necessary information of the local requirements. Hmm. Now, national planning. The term national planning suggests the setting up of the planning procedure on a national level, and it takes into the consideration the potentialities in the various fields of a nation as a whole. By proper and careful national planning, the resources of national importance like railways, irrigation projects, heavy industries, hydroelectrical work projects can be utilized in a best possible manner. The national planning is mainly done in the form of five-year plans. The national planning can be visualized in different ways. It can be visualized as the development of a nation in terms of its administrative or political system. It can be visualized at development at various levels in an hierarchical order, either from top to bottom or from bottom to top. That is from international level to local level or from local level to national level. It can be visualized as development in terms of various economical sectors such as agriculture, fishery, forestry, mining, and curing industry. It can be visualized as development in terms of various social sectors such as clothing, housing, food, education, health, as well as employment and recreation. Now, international planning. With the establishment of United Nations organization, the international planning came into existence, and efforts are made at international level to promote goodwill and cooperation between different countries of the world. The various agencies appointed by the UNO conduct surveys in the various fields of human life such as education, health, housing and food. The main purpose of such surveys is that these surveys help in finding out remedies and solutions of complicated problems at international level. Now the planning process. That is the various steps involved in town planning. The first step is the identification of the problem. That is, if the town has irregular growth, what are the various problems that a town is facing. The next step is the defining the various objectives. For example, the objectives may include to regulate the growth of the town, to nullify the bad effects of past growth, to improve the transportation facilities, to optimize the resource utilization, to balance population and economic activities, to promote social integration among the different categories, to promote a convenient, comfortable, beautiful, and healthy environment. The next step is data collection, studies, and surveys, which include identification of trend as well as direction of growth, traffic survey, study on demography, climate, resources, and other potentials. The next step is data analysis, which involves study of data in the form of study maps, graphs, charts, uh, and long-term and short-term objectives are identified. The next step involved is forecasting, which involves demographic projections as well as forecasting based on migration, employment, industrialization, and urbanization. The next step is design on the basis of collected, analyzed, and forecasted data. It involves preparation of development maps, formulation of zones, alteration to the existing zoning regulations, as well as widening of roads. The next step is fixing of priorities. It involves priorities, identification of priorities based on the need and importance and urgency. The next step is the implementation. Implementation involves implementation by suitable authorities within time and must satisfy all the required obligation. The last step involved is review, evaluation, and feedback. This is done by monitoring, by periodic inspection, and by receiving feedback as well as review reports.